And welcome to another edition of Licorice Pizza. I'm your host, Don Despaw. And what band do we have today? Yeah, you might have heard of them. Yeah, Supertramp. A lot of Supertramp fans out there. And yeah, they what another band that's an amazing career from that group. They've been around since like 69, 70. Again, they just didn't. They just didn't, come out with Breakfast in America right off the bat. Took them a while, a couple albums before their masterpiece, Crime of the Century. Uh, anyway, I am going to go 6 albums this time. I know the last time with Genesis, it was my top five. I just couldn't do it with Supertramp. I said, I don't know why. Oh, this album. Yeah, I got to mention this one too. So we'll go with number 6 from 1985. Uh, this is after Roger Hoskins left Supertramp, and Rick Davies was pretty responsible for a lot of that, the sound of that particular album. Brother, Where You Bound? Okay, that is. It was on the dark side. That album. There's really nothing on it that was uh, commercial at all. Maybe Cannonball's the only tune off that. That might have, I think they might have released that as a single off the album, but it was purely for just sitting down. It's a concept album, really concept album. That would be my number 6 album. And side note, the great Gary, no, David Gilmour. Excuse me. I'm thinking about the late Gary Moore. No, David Gilmour, Pink Floyd player, of course. Amazing guitar player. He plays on that album, David Gilmour. But yeah, I love that album. Some people probably, it's. But yeah, Brother, Where You Bound from 1985. Now we're gonna go to number 5 album. A lot of people, they just didn't like this particular album. 1982, the last Supertramp album with Roger Hodgkin. But he was an amazing writer. The album was called Famous Last Words. 1982, and their hit off that was "It's Raining Again." Duh, duh. That was it was a pop hit off that particular album. That grew on me. I didn't at first. I said, "Oh man, I don't know. Let's do it again. Let's play it again." And again, it slowly grew on me. And at first, I didn't think it was a very strong album, but again, yeah, I began to like it more and more and more. And Famous Last Words. And what makes this album obviously important um, is Roger Hoskin, being on it. That was his last album recorded with Supertramp. I think they did some dates in '83. He was still with the band then, but there was no new album with him in it or in the band actually. And yeah, but number 3, love this album. My goodness, so every song off this is great. The single probably give a little bit off that. Even in the quietest moments, that album, great cover. They have the that grand piano in the Swiss Alps or wherever it is on the album cover. Great cover. One of these days, folks, I'm going to do a show just in your favorite album covers. And there's been many, many. Oh my goodness, and this is one of them. This is this album, and the music on it matches the cover. Just fantastic, fantastic album. Even in the quietest moments, and it seemed like they were getting more popular, bigger following during the recording or during the release of this album. Yeah, a lot of people, man, you heard this, give it a little bit, all the time on the radio. And coming in at number 2 Oh boy, what? And this just, they had peaked in 1980 or 1979. They had peaked with Breakfast in America. Goodbye Strangers off that. The Logical Song is off that. Take the Long Way Home. That's off that album as well. Man, that went number one for weeks and weeks, and they had reached their top of the mountain with that one for sure. 1979, great album, and another again. I mentioned the album cover, great album cover. You know, you had the waitress there with the the Breakfast in America, New York City in the background. Great album cover, great songs on this. Not a bad song on that whole album. And we will chime in at number one, my favorite, and it has been for years and years. Oh boy, Crime of the Century. Can't I love the recording of that. 1974, amazing recording. It just punchy. It's just a great, amazing recording, and every song off that out of this world. Rudy, one of my favorite tunes off that album. They're all like my favorite. Dreamer, School, Asylum, yeah, Crime of the Century, 1974, and just an amazing album. The song Rudy. I'm trying to think what. No, I don't know offhand how if that charted or how far that went up the charts. I am not sure. But Crime of the Century, made me forget about it. It's classic, and a lot of really diehard Supertramp fans. That's their album, my album for sure. That's yeah, number one. There's no fine line between number one and two. That's all. Although the top five's great, but that album, yeah, amazing. I think the members of the band, or some of the members, said, yeah, they think that was their best album. Is Crime of the Century. Which one can I mention here? I am just okay. Well, okay. I wasn't going to mention this, but I think I got time to. Free as a Bird album, 1987. The song "Free as a Bird" off that. Love that tune. That's the only. I mean, but that album just to me, just didn't do it. 1987. It just. I don't know. I bought the cassette. It's okay, but to Supertramp standards, that what they've come out with in the past, no. It just didn't happen. And that is it. That's now we get to one of my favorite part, or my favorite part of the program. I like the overrated slice, and not overrated slice. I shouldn't say that. What am I talking about here? Favorite slice and underrated slice. Now, favorite song by Supertramp is Fool's Overture. All 10 minutes and something of it, off even in the quietest moments. Great song, and it's an overture, a Fool's Overture. It's hard to explain the song. You'd have to listen to it. And it's got a little voice. I don't know if actually that's Winston Churchill's voice there, or somebody imitating him. I am not sure. One of these episodes, I will tell you. I'll just do a little research and find out. But yeah, that is my underrated slice. Definitely that song, Fool's Overture, and my favorite song that they ever did. An absolute masterpiece. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, something long. And that is that, man. That song is absolutely just a great song. Fool's Overture. If you're a Supertramp fan, check that song out. You will love it. And folks, that is going to be it for this edition of Licorice Pizza. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you.